destiny is not even so far.
Let's just get this fucker out of the way. Star Wars.
Loved it.
Haven't seen
I just completely copied you, man.
That's alright. Loved it. No, it was phenomenal. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. Heard great things.
It was a real throwback. I think J.J. Abrams has really recaptured that 80s feel that, the original
matched
70s,
it perfect.
80s feel. Really threw in a lot of the, let's say, there's a lot of miniatures, there's a lot of puppetry.
Yeah.
Uh,
Prosthetic effects.
Yeah, even sort of a digital backdrop that is almost got a matted feel to it as well.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole lot of really cool stuff going on. And
Throwbacks to characters, and not just the original cast of characters that return, but like all the little alien creatures and things.
Oh, absolutely.
Amazing.
And new characters that just feel like they're from the legacy.
Absolutely.
But even though they're brand new, they feel like they're old characters.
It begs to be watched again because there's so much happening on screen that half the time I'm distracted looking in the background and not concentrating on the primary action in the
saw it
foreground.
twice, and I picked up a hell of a lot more the second time. Oh god, yeah, man! I already had tickets, and I thought I'm going to go to that midnight screening anyway and do it, and it was just so well worth it. The humour in this one too is just
very funny,
really clever, and you'd think that having a lot of humour in this might be a little bit tacky, but it just
worked,
perfectly.
It worked really well. Very much in vein with the humour that we've become accustomed to throughout, like. The BB-8 droid, very reminiscent of C-3PO and R2-D2, perfectly fits within the franchise. And I don't know one person that's going to leave this movie going, didn't think much of the BB-8
No,
droid.
I think everyone
wants one now.
Yeah.
You can buy one.
You can buy them at JB.
You can buy them at JB. I see this. I sent it to Danny and she's like, I want it. And I'm like,
what do they trade for?
Need that. I didn't even click on it. I
think it's a couple $100. I think it's 200 plus.
It's like a drone sort of thing.
Dude, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's on the Christmas
So
list.
there's a lot of round presents under the Christmas tree this year.
Right, so let's talk about the other Star movie that released a trailer this week.
Star Trek dropped.
Star Trek Beyond.
Yes. Now, this once again is another massive throwback because the whole texture of this one looked very much like the original series. All the artificial landscapes, the hyper fantasy
colours, everything. Yeah.
I like the look of this one. It was paired off with Beastie Boys as their the main song, which I think is just covering up the fact they had to slap it together really fast.
Just to get it out.
Well, it dropped the day before Star Wars opened theatrically around the world, so they managed just to sneak it in there, and it was the talk of the internet.
You've got to give it to them. Star Wars, arguably the most anticipated film the world has ever seen, and like, how are you going to undermine it? Let's just throw a Star Trek. Didn't quite undermine it as much as they perhaps wanted, but
not only
caused a bit of stir.
Not only undermine Star Wars, but throwing a franchise that's previously been directed by the same director as Star Wars. That's insane. And even Simon Pegg from Star Trek has a brief appearance, or voice appearance in Star Wars. It's
amazing.
Are we excited about it?
Yes, I am.
I'm looking forward to it.
I think this one looks a lot better than the last one, just from the visuals alone.
I think you and me are going to end up in a fight.
Yeah, well, I end up in fights with everyone over my opinions on films.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nothing to do here. And Jarek's just in the middle, just like, well, I'm with you guys.
I'm like, take it to Facebook.
Yeah, good.
Settle this in the feed.
I'm just so easily pleased. That's the problem,
Well, moving on.
Moving on. Okay, well, speaking of easily pleased, we've got Independence Day 2. The first film, I was very easily pleased with that one.
Very easily pleased. 20 years ago.
I remember going to the premiere on a Wednesday night. It was like a school night, and that was fucking 20 years ago. It's taken 20 years to get a sequel
I went with my dad and my brother, and I remember because when Independence Day first came out 20 years ago, biggest film the world had ever seen, broke every kind of box office record. Everybody had to go see it. Are they going to match it for this one?
No.
Doubt it.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's come too soon off Star Wars.
It's come too soon off Star Wars. It's got Star Trek to compete with, and Roland Emmerich isn't the cachet. Doesn't have the cachet.
But I'm not going to undermine it either. I think it will still.
It'll still be a big film.
But I mean, outside of the one movie, did Independence Day have anything else? Didn't have any, there was obviously no other films prior to this. There was no TV series. I don't know if there's a comic book or I mean, the best you probably got was a collectible toy with a meal at Hungry Jack's.
My brother used to have all the toys.
Yeah. From Hungry Jack's?
No, from like Toys R Us. The heads opened up and the aliens came out.
Cool.
But I like the look of this one. It looks really exciting.
It does look nice.
And moving on, Samurai Cop 2. I have to throw this one in the bag because Jesus Christ, this one we got a screener for. And I've been anticipating this film for quite a while now. The first film is so arguably one of the worst action movies ever made.
I don't think it's arguable. I think it's probably categorically.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Although American Samurai, I would argue, is possibly
that's pretty close.
Yeah.
It's pretty close.
Anyway, this sequel is very self-referential. It's a real tongue-in-cheek kind of comedy action, and it just really tickled my fancy, man. Like the colours and the way it looks, it's just beautiful.
Beautiful, and it's definitely a film made by fans for fans. It's very obvious that that's the case. Different kind of film to the first one. But these guys, they know what they're doing. They've played it the right way, and it balances a fine line for a lot of the time. But
same cast come back, they take the piss out of themselves.
It is so good to see them back on the screen.
And it was all crowdfunded, so clearly it's a movie that the crowd wanted to see.
Exactly
and,
right.
It really, really impressed me.
Yeah, keep your eye out for it. It's well worth a watch.
Another film that dropped fairly quickly was The Ridiculous Six, the Adam Sandler film. I just got my notification on my iPhone that it's dropped. Watch it now. And tell you what, I really, really like this one.
I thought it was a lot of fun.
I mean, it is no Blazing Saddles, but it's an Adam Sandler film. Yeah. It's a Western that looks gorgeous. The jokes mostly hit the mark. There's a lot that fall flat, but I think more hit the mark than those that fall flat.
I agree. And the cast was great. I mean, Terry Crews, fantastic.
Terry Crews, he's
so fun.
You can't do any wrong.
No.
But Taylor Lautner was a revelation.
Yeah,
he
absolutely.
was fucking hilarious.
Who would have thought?
I know.
Would you say that it's a return to form for Sandler back in the comedy arena? Because, the guy...
Well, Jared and I kind of think differently about
this.
this.
He's done some good films.
We like what he does.
Yeah, you know.
Pixels.
Cobbler was very different.
Pixels, man.
Pixels was great. Yeah. Like, honestly, Pixels I really enjoyed.
Whether we think it's funny or not, though, he's not particularly the crowd's favourite at the moment. Is this likely
well,
to
he
claw
is
back any
because his
credibility?
movies make a shit ton of money, man.
Well,
I think
that's true.
I think it's
Pixels
fun.
made a lot of money here in Australia, in my
Yeah,
Like
right.
in the States, it did sort
It's
of
fun
tank,
to
but
sledge
it made a lot of money here. Australia still loves Sandler.
I think it's popular to sledge him, but behind closed doors in your lounge room, I think everyone's still watching his films.
You're probably right.
I think he's just as
Getting a
relevant.
cheeky shot out, watching one of the Adam Sandler films.
Good for him.
But I did like this one, and if you want to say return to form, it's definitely a return to Little Nicky style of comedy.
Yeah,
where it's very high concept.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Ridiculous Six.
I would recommend
worth a watch. I mean, if you got Netflix, stream it for free. If you don't enjoy it in the first 30 minutes, then you're probably not going to enjoy the other 90 of it. But yeah, it's good fun.
It's 2 hours long.
It's 2
I'm
hours long.
surprised
It
because
doesn't
I
feel like 2 hours though. But yeah,
I wasn't keeping tabs, so I'm surprised that it felt a lot.
I was hungover when I was watching it, so every minute felt like a lifetime. But it was an entertaining lifetime. So yeah.
And the other thing that happened since our last podcast was Monster Fest.
Monster Fest! Yes. See, I try to make it different to the other ones that I do because, you guys...
Yeah, well...
I think it's something different.
I had a lot of fun this year.
It was good fun.
4 days of...
intensive
so many films,
horror.
So many beers, so many good times.
Alright, so let's talk about standout films. For me, Cat Sick Blues was the standout film of the festival.
Yeah.
It showed me things on the cinema screen that I haven't seen before. And for a little independent, almost micro-budget film to come and do that, that's amazing.
Hats off.
Stylish.
Excellent. Yeah.
Very stylish.
Yeah, very stylish.
Probably a little bit overlong, but I think that also is quite deliberate. There's quite a bit of gratuity towards the end of it that I think is very purposeful, and that
was one of my favourite parts of the film was the fact that there is a part that seemingly goes longer than it should, but it's worth it.
Yeah, for sure.
We don't want to spoil the thing. That's what I'm not saying anymore. We're talking.
What about yourself? What's some movie?
Bound to Vengeance was my favourite, which is effectively a rape, torture, revenge film where you don't actually see really any of the rape or torture, and it's pretty much revenge for the 80 odd minutes it goes for.
Cool.
And it is a fast-paced, 80 minutes, solid American film. Comes out here on home in February, so you should check it out.
Really, I haven't seen that. I didn't catch
Bound to
that.
Vengeance, very cool film. Yeah.
I've got a man crush on Keanu Reeves, so my stand-up was Knock Knock.
Yes.
And I love Eli Roth. It's good to see him back in the big screen. Bit more tame, bit more conscious work perhaps, a bit more control from him. Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Bit more commercial.
Yeah, way more commercial, much more accessible for just about everybody, and funny as hell at times as well.
It did feel like he was, he did like, to put it, pussied out a tiny bit. I felt like it was going to be brutal, and it was going in that direction, and then it sort of
just kind of pulled it back. Just every time you think it was going to creep over the line, I thought
and I
it
still
was quite
appreciate it,
restrained.
but I think I went in thinking it was going to go that next step. And
it's actually funny, isn't it? Because home invasion movies just keep pushing the envelope. Like they have to outdo each other with with terror. So I guess he might have been trying to rein it back to a standard that it began with.
Yeah.
Like Funny Games, which obviously it's no Funny Games, but that was quite tame.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Man.
Funny Games was.
Fuck's being up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that, it's all
Yeah.
it's subliminal. Like,
The intensity is what gets you. It's
Yeah.
not the violence.
Yeah.
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 No, I liked it. I thought it was quite good.
Cool.
All in all, successful festival.
Yeah, we had the trivia there, which was fun.
Yeah.
What else did we have? We had the rooftop. They had their little party shit going up there. They had retailers there selling all kind of merch and T-shirts and whatnot. The guests were Dee Wallace, which we covered this last time.
Yeah.
We had
Fred Williamson.
Fred Williamson.
The guy from
Eddie
Monsters.
Yeah, Butch.
Big. Butch Cassidy. Butch somebody. No one
Butch
cares.
Patrick.
No one cares.
Yeah, and it's just a whole
I'm sorry. Did anyone care? No, I'm kidding. Like honestly, yeah, he seemed like a sweet dude.
I was bragging everybody. I'm like, I shook his head.
Like, all jokes aside,
Yeah.
people were flocking to him more than anyone else.
Yeah.
If you look at all the photos on Facebook from Monster Fest, it was all about him.
Totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
so he
Everyone
was
thought they were
clearly-
Joe Pesci, but
clearly
yeah,
a
it was
good-
dude from the Monsters.
Clearly a good crew.
Jesus.
I'm sorry. I'm like a dog with a bone. I'm sorry. So other films though, standout films, Australians.
Australians was
Dug that.
great. That was a really small but really high concept
It's
Australian
cool. It's a
film.
bit of a throwback to like 80s family.
Mars Attack style film.
Yeah, absolutely.
It
and
had-
50s, yeah.
Yeah, it was DIY, so the director had done everything himself.
Yeah,
You know,
everything.
he wrote it, he shot it, he edited it, he did the digital effects.
And he was really personal. When he did the
Yeah.
Q&A, he was very sort of modest and
Yeah.
it's very cool.
And it's just a really fun movie. I think it's slightly too long, which he conceded himself in the Q&A. He
Which
said,
was a point 20 minutes too long, and he pretty much said that exactly. And we're like,
Yeah.
well, dude, if you know it's too long, cut that
Trim
20
it.
minutes out.
Yeah.
Hasn't hit home end yet, do the home end cut.
Yeah.
Cut 20
I
minutes
think
out.
he's so close to it, I think it's a bit too precious. It's,
Yeah.
you know, he can't find where he can cut without feeling a bit heartbroken by doing so. But,
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I also like Vixen's Velvet Zombie Massacre. I think that was really fun.
Yeah, that was good fun.
That's an Australian film shot in,
Canada.
shot up
Yeah.
at Dawson City. Not Canada, America.
America.
Oh, Dawson City, that's Canada.
No, it was in
I think that's
Canada.
Canadian.
It's
Yeah,
definitely
it is Canada.
Yeah,
It's the Yukon. Of course it's
Something-
Canada.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, there we go. We know our Canadians.
You know what, I'm feeling really festive, so let's just move this into the whole
Do it.
Christmas kind of realm, and we'll talk about our focus film for this episode, Silent Night.
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
The question is not even response.